Man, there's so much because it's been a minute, and since then, because we've also had Andor come out and Tales of the Jedi, and Jedi Survivor. I was talking a little bit how I would actually had the pleasure of going to the launch event, so I got to meet Cameron Monaghan and play the game early and like hang out with some of the devs and some other content creators. Hang out with Alex and Molly were there, and also got to kind of go through the game a little bit early. I will say the Amazon PC and pre-release patches were a little rough. I ended up having to upgrade my computer in order to to run it. It runs much better now. But I was really pushing it at the beginning. There are tons of stuff going on, tons of news popping off, and I'm excited because I probably shouldn't say this, but it's not my news. I don't know. Anyways, someone else that happened to be at the event also got to go to the same event in the UK, and over there they previewed the open world game. So they got to watch a little trailer for it. So hasn't been announced yet, and they got to see this a month ago now. So the person was telling me a little bit about it, but yeah, that's the open world game by the people who make the Division. Ubisoft, the thing that is what we're speculating, and I'm pretty sure that's what he was pretty tight-lipped on what he actually got to see, but let me know that he did get to see it.
Can you say this much? Was it a positive or negative reaction?
Oh, they were real excited.
Okay,
like it was in a playable state.
No, they just saw like a preview. I'm sure it was only a video. I had arrangements to touch base with them later to try and go into more detail, but then they decided not to. So if they had, I probably wouldn't be saying it here. So I can say this because I don't have enough knowledge, but I do think we are getting that announcement real soon. Probably at the PlayStation Showcase.
The PlayStation. I was going to ask D23 or the PlayStation Showcase was my question to you.
I'm thinking PlayStation Showcase, and I'm really excited about that. I just got a PS5, and yeah, I'm really happy.
If it doesn't happen at the PlayStation Showcase, we do have the Summer Game Fest. So there's like 40 games that are going to be showed off during Summer Game Fest.
Also, Ubisoft just did the Division Heartlands presser, and it was just out of the blue. So there's always that option on the table now, especially Bethesda just did the same thing. So now that E3 is dead, studios are just like, we can spin up our own announcement. So as great as it is to have touch points throughout the year, most of the studios and publishers now just spin up their own, announcement cycle. Now, I will say some of them are terrible. Like when you have like 5 devs sitting in their homes talking about, I'm like, this doesn't have the same brevity of like Bethesda does it great. They do the ESO show. I think they did it in Vegas. Correct me, I might be wrong. This year, but they always do it live, and it's like a whole spectacle. So I would hope for a new Star Wars game that it would be bigger, but we'll see. We'll find out.
I feel like COVID allowed a lot of companies to be like lazy, and they're like, listen, we don't want to spend money like we used to. Just go on Zoom and say it.
Our knowledge of E3 and what we heard on the inside was that regardless of COVID, things were not going to pan out in 2020 anyway, even if there was no COVID. Okay. So yeah, that's what we heard. So it could have accelerated anyway. I think the idea is that E3 no longer commanded the attention that it did. Therefore, it's cheaper and more economical to do your own announcement, however you see fit. But like I said, some of them are just not fun to watch. So is what it is. But I'm glad. I didn't know that people saw that. So that's pretty interesting and awesome that it's at least out there. And I'm curious what Tim asked, like, is it in a state that's for public consumption at this point and this level?
Yeah, I noticed that it kicked up really, really quickly in my my For You page on TikTok, like out of nowhere. Like I just got a bunch of like the Ubisoft announcement again. I was like, why is this news? Like, because this happened a couple months ago where like people were saying like there was a leak and they were talking about like kind of details of what this game was going to be. Like this whole idea of like a No Man's Sky Star Wars game was like, oh, that sounds freaking awesome. And then like the same report again is kind of like clarifying that this is the kind of game that we're going to get, is a seamless No Man's Sky style Star Wars game where you can pick your own role and do your own thing.